Hey, boys and girls. Weather report for Wednesday, April 6th, 2022. Is it really 2022?
It's really 2022. My mind is blown.
Oh, mine too.
This year more than most any. Other years, for some reason, I can, I handle the year change, like normally. But then this year, it's like 2022.
Yeah,
I never imagined living this long.
I know, me neither. Holy shit. I turned 49 on, 2000, and I thought, that's it. I'm not going to make it any further than that. I'm from the hippie generation, everybody over 30, you don't trust them, and you want them to die. So,
yeah.
I know. Now, even my kids are over 30. It's like, Jesus Christ.
I know. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What was I thinking? Anyway, I still feel like I have the flu today. Feel like shit, actually, but I was hoping some people would come in, carry the show. I'm putting a video by Leo called "The Problem of Evil is Still a Problem," where he did a little clip of him on Rebecca's channel.
You know why it's still a problem?
Why?
Because they need Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. Yep. And yeah. God. They really do a lot of dancing to get around that problem, don't they? It's basically God gave you free will, and what'd you do with it? Well, okay, God created you in his image, and then he gave you free will, and the first thing you did was go out and start doing evil and sinning. Is that his image? Was that part of the plan? I don't know. I mean, I'm not a big fan of using evil as a counter to Christianity. So it's a lot simpler than that, but still, it's amazing how they have to dance around these problems. I don't know. Pretty interesting. So anyway, I put a link to that, and then Dessel provided a paper here called "The Dissipated Photochemical Origin of Life, UVC Abiogenesis of Adenine," which is something I haven't looked at yet, but I'll put a link to that out there, I hope.
Looks intriguing.
Yes, it does. It's all intriguing. Oh, let me see. How can I do that? So, okay, so I don't normally want to talk about the whole knock Will Kincaid Smokey thing, but last night and for the last couple days, holy shit, has it been heating up.
Speaking of problem of evil, am I right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And, so Smokey did this like stream. I don't know if it was last night or the night before. It was 8 hours, and he was for the first hour or so, he was going on about this Mary and how evil she was, and how obviously Mary, who's a Christian, along with a number of other Christians, plus all the atheists, have come together, and the demon is controlling them. And they're attacking Smokey, and they're just, going after him because obviously he says he thinks the demons are panicking because Smokey's message is so true and so wonderful that the demons are trying to attack him. And I'm not making this shit up. He said all this, right? And he was on his phone on a stream, or on what is it called? What is that piece of shit server called? Starts with a D. everybody gets on and yells at each other.
Discord.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That piece of shit. So he was on that with a bunch of other people from, various parts around the country and the world. And he felt this wind come up and it kind of like sent a tingle up his spine. And at that time, all their iPhones crashed, as he put it. It didn't occur to him that maybe Discord crashed.
Yeah.
But and so he believed that was being attacked by a demon, he said. So he's attacked by a demon. So
somebody's kind of, it rhymes with Felusion of Frandur.
Yeah.
That's what somebody's got.
So I'm kind of wondering, there's a lot of different varieties of Christians out there. And granted, they have their share of batshit crazy people. But you keep running into these different varieties of, demonic possession. And like pretty much all of the young earth creationists, the X, believe in demons. And these demons, what are they doing? What is their purpose? They're
keeping you from finding your parking lot.
Yeah, but why?
Parking space.
What's in it for them? What do they get out of this?
Well, the Bible says the thief cometh not but to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And so they just want to make your life miserable.
I just failed to see what the payoff is for the demons. It's the same kind of thing, where they're saying, oh, there are people that do evil and people that just want to sin with their free will. Well, then you got demons.
It's like you've got Casper the Friendly Ghost and then his two wicked cousins, right? Those two, the big fat ghost and then the tall skinny one.
There's
maybe they're uncles. Maybe there's uncles, and they just gotta scare people. It's just who they are.
The third one is like Stinky.
Yeah. They're Stinky and then Smoky and then whatever. But it's
they're like just, Low Mary Curly.
It's a little cartoon picture of having something to scapegoat your own shortcomings and inadequacies onto.
And the greatest thing was when Knock, the Raging Atheist, was doing his video last night, his StreamYard crashed right after he played that part about the demon attack from Smokey. So, it was like, and everybody was like, demons.
Demons
incredible.
Really probably means like something wrong with your mind or something.
Yeah, basically, that's kind of like what that was basically what they thought mental illness was, being possessed by some demonic force or something like that. But so we got all these species. We got the God species, and then we have like the Trinity, and we have Jesus, and then we have a bunch of angels. So, and then we have the demons on the other side, and then we have the devil, and then we have humans who just want to sin all the time. And I'm just like this. This almost sounds like Tolkien, this is the fiction is getting a little heavy for me.
Yeah, the references. Of course, we all have. I guess was it Dante to blame for an elaborate exposition on hell and demons and things like that.
Yeah,
he kind of, I think, took people's imaginations way out there about it.
What'd you do to me, Scott? What'd you do to me?
I cloned myself. I do that now. For some reason, I'll just like if I have too much carbonation and I burp, I end up cloning myself.
I see what you did to me. Anyway, so, but the whole, okay, so apparently whoever this person was that committed this statutory rape, this Marks Herbal, his victim popped up on Thick Shades and started talking. There's one thing I want to say about that. She very, very interesting, very calm and rational individual. And she said that when people make pedo jokes about what happened, it really hurts her. because it's about her, right? So like she saw some jokes in chat and stuff like that where people will make jokes about, about Stinky and don't do that. Yeah, that never occurred to me before that must be really fucking hard for a victim to read. Other people taking the higher ground and making fun of the perpetrator, right? But you're not just
Yeah.
making fun of the perpetrator, you're hurting the person that was the victim of that crime. And so I would ask everybody to consider that in the future when they want to make jokes about somebody that they're disgusted by, that sort of thing, whoever they think it is. But I don't know. There's just a whole bunch of shit going on, and I just don't know. I don't know what the real story is anymore. But it's all. And then Smokey is threatening Knock with the federales coming to his door and kicking it down.
Because there's that thing called swatting. Where you.
No, that's not what they're doing. Just saying.
Okay, what are they doing? So what is the thing against Knock that Smokey thinks he's going to do to him? What is he threatening him with?
I guess he just reported him to the cops. They apparently they have the video where Knock threatened Will. I don't think I've ever seen that video, but I know that it might be exist. I don't know. There's apparently a video. There's apparently a video out there that Knock threatened Will Kincaid.
Well, then Smokey put up a video this morning where Richard Mattson threatened one of the guys on his stream last night. And he said, no, it's something about, I meant to kill you or something like that. But so there's another one. And it's like, I mean, I don't think any of that is actionable because people say that shit all the time. I mean, Christ, I used to say it to my kids all the time. It's like, stop that, I'm going to kill you.
I can't bring myself to say that to my dogs, though, even though even though they irritate me a lot.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Well, like when my kids were like 5 years old, we'd put them to bed at 9 o'clock every night. And one time they came down. They came back down and they said, both of them, right? 4 little blue eyes staring at me. And they said, why do we have to go to bed at 9 o'clock every night? And I just looked at them calmly and I said, so that mommy and daddy don't kill you. And they went back upstairs and went to sleep.
Jesus Christ. That wasn't a good reason to give them.
I thought it was great. They said, okay, okay, we get it. Yeah, I mean, if you shoot straight with kids, they can understand.
They can handle it,
right? Yeah. But that wasn't you shooting straight. That was just scary. That was just you. I don't know. I would have handled it differently. Why do we have to go back at 9? Why do we have to go to sleep at 9?
So mommy and daddy don't kill you. It just made perfect sense to them, They knew exactly where I was coming from.
I remember one time, I think I told my son, the reason is because you're a growing boy and you need your rest. But he always
there you go. That's much better.
But he would just come back with, I don't feel tired.
Yeah, and we know that's bullshit.
Yeah. So
now, if you told him that you're
not effective.
Now, if you told him instead that I'm old and I'm cranky and I'm set in my ways and I need my rest, he would have understood that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have.
Yeah, but what you said to your kids, no.
Yeah, but it was true in a way. It's like, if we didn't put him in bed at 9, we probably would have ended up killing him. I don't know.
You're mean.
Oh, yeah. Besides the boner, just say.
I'm bored.
What did you say? Beamsy? I'm not sure if I understand it. Anyway, I think I put the link out a couple times. I thought maybe people could talk about evil.
I'll tell you what, I'll put the link out again, but looks like a lot of people are busy. Maybe we can urge Randolph to come on in, but he could be busy too.
He could be.
Believe it or not.
Oh.
So isn't evil subjective, kind of?
Yeah. It's definitely, the conception of evil. You have to have humans, but I mean, but not subjective in that it's just up to one person. I mean, it's something that we all agree on. We all pretty much.
So if the church agrees on something evil, then that makes it that just because it's a lot of people.
Yeah, they
But
can.
then it could
A
be.
group of people can get together and decide what they consider evil. I guess.
That's what I mean. Like there's laws out there now that allow people to marry each other and stuff of the same sex and stuff. So
Of course, always ask the question
people,
ahead of time. Who the hell are you to tell me what I can and can't do? And
you're welcome to do it. It's just the fact that,
yeah.
in my point of view, I just think homosexuality is a bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, that's wow.
Yeah.
Hello, Bimsy.
Hello. This is
How
why
are
I
you
probably shouldn't
doing?
join these when I first wake up.
Well, yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm mostly left and still dying, but yeah.
You're dying?
Hey, it's the other albino, Randolph Richardson.
You keep thinking I'm albino.
Yeah,
Albino
dude.
Prime.
You know what? Until you get tested, you're gonna take you as an albino. Look at that hair.
Yeah.
Look at those eyebrows. Come on, look at that
Yeah.
skin.
I'm
You're
a
albino.
natural blonde.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Always
You are.
have been.
I don't believe you. Go get tested. Then let me. Then come back.
My family physician says I'm not anywhere close to albino.
So,
I
what do you think, Randolph, of all this business of demons and demons controlling people and attacking Christians or attacking churches?
Makes for great comic books.
I think it's important not to confuse them with daemons that run on Linux and Unix.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But seriously, I don't believe any of that stuff either. Not because I'm an atheist. I just don't find the supernatural convincing. Although I will say, for those demons that are, and spirits and angels and everything that are dependent on a deity existing, as a consequence of not believing in deities, I don't believe in those.
But how much of that is embedded in Christianity, early Christianity, in the Bible? I mean, how important are demons in the Bible? Do they talk about
that? I think my understanding is that concepts of demons and other spirits and whatnot is older than Christianity and older.
Oh yeah,
and not necessarily a religious concept. So I think it's more like the religions saw value in taking some of those ideas and including them in the religion, the people who created them. So, because the idea of an angel who's beautiful and perfect and coming down to kind of save you from something is a very nice idea to a lot of people who need the comfort of religion. And I think it's kind of like a stopgap measure between not getting any response from God, and then they can say this, and this may be a little bit more believable to their peers who might be more strictly wanting to question somebody who's been contacted by God, but is willing to let it go if it's just an angel or something.
But how much of that is part of Christianity? Like, do Catholics have a concept of demons?
I
don't
believe
know
they do.
Okay.
I
think they do.
I don't think they're like
Exorcisms. They provide a whole
they do
service.
exorcisms and all that,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's exactly the same as like those groups. They're evangelical, non-denominationals, but they believe in, like, you have demons of head colds and demons of psoriasis or whatever. A demon assigned for every ailment. They believe in actual literal principalities and powers where you have these demons who are princes of the powers of the air all over the country, overseeing different regions. I don't know how developed it is, but and how literal things are taken.
And many Christians, I've noticed, seem to be very wary of the Ouija board and see it as something that really must be obliterated because it opens a gateway to reaching demons and other evil spirits and whatnot.
It was the Exorcist movie that really made it. People think bad things about that. It used to be just a simple, fun thing to play with, and then people connected it to demons and stuff. Yeah, and made people scared of it.
What a weird way to live, with this. Well, it might help you. I had this experience when I was like, I don't know, 20, 22 years old, no, 23, I think, where we went out to this hunting place. It was in the middle of what's called the 100-mile bog. And it's in northern Minnesota, and it's bog. And when you walk out there, the trees jump, float up and down. And people have fallen through that bog, and you never see them again. We lost a hunter once, or this. He was somebody I knew just vaguely. He was in a hunting party, and he fell through the bog. They think, but he completely disappeared, and they never found a body or anything. They found his gun, and that was it.
That's just creepy.
But anyway, so we were out there, and we were coming down from an acid trip, of course, and probably a 3-day drunk. And we all had this like freaky feeling. It was a wintry November day, and it was really gray out and just oppressively gray and gloomy. And we were out in the middle of this bog, which just goes on forever. And, and we all got this like freaky feeling that we needed to get the hell out of there. And we all came back and we talked about it. My friend said that he saw a tree and it looked like a banshee to him. And everybody was like freaked out. And we all agreed that there was a demon in the Sax Bogs. It's a place called Sax, Minnesota. And I started thinking about that. And it occurred to me that this idea of a demon can keep you safe, because this was not a safe place to be. And we all had this intuition that we should just get the hell out of there. And we may have averted something. We don't know what it was, but anyway, so I was when I think about demons, I always think about like places, that are kind of dangerous, with quicksand or, bad highways, or some highways that I won't go on because I've seen too many fatal accidents on them. And you get this idea that there's a demonic presence to it.
I think these faraway places, or these outermost places, like bogs and deserts, are they do fuel stories about demons, because, like Lilith, I think in the Sumerian, Akkadian, Assyrian societies, they were Lilith was a demon that would, I think, steal babies at night or something like that, or kill babies at night.
No, she was steal unbaptized babies.
Well, I'm talking about in Samaria and Assyria.
Oh, in Samaria, yeah.
And so, and then of course, the name was adopted in Jewish culture as well. So, demons have always been, the creatures of outer darkness, of the bogs, of the shrublands or desert.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
The aspect of devils and demons within the Christianity, though, comes from the jinn, not the spiritual places.
I mean, I approve of the image you have on stage, on screen.
It's the least raunchy I could find on a quick search.
Well, yeah, at least raunchy is good, because you don't want this street to be taken down.
Yes, that's why I chose least raunchy, not some of the other stuff that's out there. It's just going, no, terms of service, nope, maybe, nope. Okay, okay.
I wonder if you could get away with showing more raunchy stuff if you put it for adults only.
No, I think that's about the limit of what you could show on YouTube.
Nah, screw YouTube. Go on BitChute.
Okay, so the Comet Lovejoy is spewing out alcohol. Apparently.
Okay, that's weird.
Researchers catch Comet Lovejoy giving away alcohol. What? Releasing large amounts of alcohol as well as a tape of sugar into space, according to new observations. Now, interesting.
Mind you wouldn't want to drink it; you'd die.
Well, yeah, of course.
If anyone says "bless you" after you actually sneeze, that again, it comes from the idea of the jinns. And the idea of keeping a gin in the bottle, again, comes from spirits.
So Chris Peacock is right. It's spewing out 500 glasses of wine a day. Wine
Jesus.
bottles. Anyway, okay. Maybe it's possessed by a demon.
So do you think an actual astrophysicist figured that out in terms of wine bottles?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. That might have been something they added here in the article.
Yeah, is that word illustration, is that word picture approved by NASA?
They would have said that an approximation of how many liters per hour would have been released, and it would have been the writer of the article that made it into 500 wine bottles.
Yeah. Let's see, what do they say? Somewhere here I saw where they were putting glyceraldehyde, was it? That's interesting. But there's your there's a little A bio for you. You know, something out in space creating hydrocarbons.
A bio is a fucking evolutionist lie, and you know that already.
Yeah, it's total lie. Total lie. I know.
It's got nothing to do with evolution, so where are you pulling that from?
Creationists.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Hello, Jay.
Hey, Jay. So, demons and evil and problems.
Did you check Discord?
Demons and evil.
Jay, did you check Discord?
Did I check? Yes. Yes, I didn't watch that video yet, though.
Yeah, that was an interesting video to watch. I didn't get through the whole thing, but
what video?
The one with Thick Shades. Go ahead.
Yeah, Thick Shades interviews the female, the third. Yeah. Well, who was the 13-year-old girl?
Yeah, I saw that and I listened to it. I mentioned it earlier that.
Oh yeah, because you were there. You were there listening to Knock stream.
Yep, I couldn't help it. I just couldn't help it. I mean, I usually stay away from that shit, but it's just gotten too interesting.
My brother started telling me about it a few days ago, and I went, "Oh, that's right, motherfucker! I forgot about March 31st."
Hey, who said you said you weren't going to tell what I did to your mother last night?
What's that?
Think about what you said.
I don't know. We don't know.
What's the name? What is the curse you used?
Fucking.
What was the word before it?
Mother.
Yes. And I said, hey, I thought you weren't going to say what I did to your mother last night.
Okay.
It loses its attempt at a joke when you have to explain it.
Okay.
It must. Yeah, I think that might be an inside joke that I'm just not inside of.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's really right? You're not inside that one, but yeah.
Dave J, pun not intended, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That comment is proof of God. His mobile brewery.
I think the Monsters, the beer volcano will be better. It doesn't gush out formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saxy Calzone and I were having some fun with. He was really laying out the pedo jokes.
Yeah, and that was the thing that really struck me about what that woman said, is that hurt her. She didn't care for what happened to her, having jokes attached to it and having to read those in the chat. And I thought that was something that we had to think about.
Well, when Knock started addressing the threat that Smokey had made towards him, kind of this veiled kind of foreshadowing of something that's bad that's going to happen in the future, and he can't wait for it to happen.
Right.
And Knock made the claim that he's not a threat, and I told Knock in the chat, I said, Knock, that that's not true. He's a threat to at least 13-year-old girls.
God damn.
Yeah. Anyway, she kind of asked us not to do that. I mean that is a pretty light reference to it, but I know what she means, and it just and the other thing that struck me is that she Googled his name and she came up with Thick Shades and this whole controversy, that's been going on.
Yeah.
She didn't find it particularly pleasant to endure. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bet not. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway. So who the
That's
hell
why
knows?
it's better not to be mean to people.
Yeah. Yeah, and to kind of stay out of some of that shit.
Yeah, and that's predominantly why I left it alone. And what I was addressing was when I started addressing anything on this, it was when Smokey did he made that 20-some minute video trying to explain it away where this rumor had come from, and some of the things just didn't quite add up in the video. But I was like, listen, we don't know that this guy acts, but at the end of the day, we didn't know if this was necessarily, if this is Smokey, we can't say that he necessarily committed these crimes. The only thing we could try to ascertain is whether or not that is actually Smokey Saint that was actually charged with said crimes. And we still didn't even really know that until now. And because of, in my opinion, Will Kincaid and Smokey really kind of made a mess out of that. It might have been better just to keep your mouth shut about it.
Yeah.
So,
well, there's one way to tell, and that is that Smokey put up a picture of himself, apparently, with and without a beard. That was supposedly him, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay. There are 2 blemishes on that man. And the blemishes, if they appear on the sex offender registry photo, which is not in high resolution enough to tell, but if those blemishes match, you got the same person.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yep. And the other way to tell,
I didn't know they had a list of blemishes.
No, they didn't have a list of blemishes. You could see them on the photo, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, that because I don't have facial recognition, I use blemishes to tell if a person, like if an actor is the same actor from scene to scene. And I'll look for, like some little birthmark of some sort in order to tell who it is.
Yeah,
and
I always like to use. I like to do the old Sherlock Holmes thing. I look at the ears.
Ears.
Yeah, Sherlock Holmes used to. Your ears are almost as unique as fingerprints.
Yeah, and I don't recognize those either. Actually, have a hell of a time. But anyway, so and then the other way is to have her listen to his voice, because that voice is very distinctive.
Yeah,
and that would, but nobody's done any of those 2 things. But if anybody wants to pursue it, that would be the way to pursue it.
Honestly, I don't. I find the situation. I don't know what a good term is. I find it very. It's a very good source of Schadenfreude. So, just given not because of what happened with her, but just because of the way that Smokey was handling it and everything, and just kind of the dickhead that he just is. It's just like, yeah, you're just giving people a reason to just pile this on, and I think people are doing that without really not necessarily considering the feelings of the person that he hurt, and whether or not bringing this particular topic up could also be harmful in that, disrespectful.
Yeah, the language of misogyny that he was using on Mary and that he uses on any woman that crosses his path, that doesn't do him any favors. And
no.
Yeah. The other thing that he did mention is that it did have something to do with the church, which kind of pissed me off. This whole thing about the church and abuse and that sort of thing. And apparently she didn't want to get into any details, but she did mention that it was something to do with the church.
So they were going, their families were going to attending the same church, or he was attending the same church
study, or something like that. Or basically there was a religious element to the method of coercing her into this relationship. And that really irritates the shit out of me. So because you're in a position of power, and when somebody is above you in, like, somebody's been in the church longer, or they're closer to God or whatever, and that same kind of shit actually happens in Alcoholics Anonymous in some places, where there are people that are sober for a long time, and they happen to be people that are not well in the head. They will attach themselves to new females or or whatever that come in, and they will use their power as having, as being the sober one to coerce them into something. And that shit has happened over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of something that there are a certain percentage of males that do that kind of thing. They will use that kind of power anywhere, and it really sucks when that.
Yeah,
happens.
I just thought it was funny that there was something that Thick Shade said. He said she will say that is Smokey Saint that is in this picture, but she will not say that Smokey Saint is this particular individual. But I'm like, if she's saying that Smokey Saint is this person in this picture, and in that picture is the name of the person, basically she is.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that a picture of somebody coming out of the courtroom with a bottle of water?
No, I think he was referring to the picture, the original mugshot, the original picture that was going around that started the whole rumor off. I think that she was referring to that one. Maybe that wasn't what Smokey was, or maybe that wasn't what Thick Shades was referring to. So could have that.
Almost sounds like someone's playing word games.
Yeah, that's what it just sounded like to me. It's like, no, that still count, because if you were to do that in a police station, that would count as a positive ID. Is this the person that you saw? Yes, that's the person I saw, and they have the name of the person. They don't even have the name of the person, but then when they remove that, they reveal the name on the picture. There it is, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay. And then you can confirm that by looking up, state IDs or anything like that they might have. Yeah. It's like, no, that's a confirmation. That's an identification right there.
I think it's quite reasonable to assume that when the police department releases mugshots, that they've got the name right.
You would hope so. Yeah.
They'll make a public statement of correction later. So, and that hasn't come up. So, I think we can rely on.
Yeah, this was the part that got to me. That photo of the person coming out with the water bottle, and I don't know who Boki Ken is, but apparently they saw him. I have no idea. It's just the plot thickens. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Well, Dr. Boki, I don't think Boki Ken is not Kenny Rhodes. I don't think
he's okay.
The person they're saying that went on this road trip with Smokey is Dr. Kenny Rhodes. He also goes by Kylo Ken. He used to have an icon of Kylo Ren from Star Wars. That's who went with him.
Wow. Kylo
Ken is a former minister, or is a minister, or reckons himself to be a minister of some kind. He doesn't. Yeah. It's kind of funny. I told somebody my feelings were hurt. Kenny didn't ask me if I wanted to go. Kenny doesn't live too far from me.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, neither does Smokey. Smokey lives about, I think, 6 hours from me, 7.
Yeah. Anyway, the part about Smokey's dream that really killed me is this whole fucking demon thing that he came up with.
Oh, and that accountability shift. It's their demons. So it must have been the demons in the 13-year-old girl that made him do what he did. Is that what he's?
Well, no, he's not going to go there. He was claiming that his ministry on YouTube is so important that the demons have gotten together and brought in atheists and Christians and brought us all together to attack Smokey. That's what he was saying last night.
No, we don't have to. The state of North Carolina did that just fine. Thank you.
Anyway. But Jesus Christ, I mean, this whole thing about fucking demons, it just kind of blows me away.
North Carolina must be loaded. That red state must be loaded with demons, because they were 100% participating in that fraud, right?
I guess he's not a proponent of free will then.
Well, I mean, COVID has kept me in the house for 2 years. Demons would do that about 10 times better. If I thought there were fucking demons out there, I'd never leave.
Oh, I'd go out and try to meet them and have conversations with them.
What do I have to look forward to?
That would be a good question.
Am I going to see you down? You seem like a blast to hang out with. I'm gonna look you up when I get down there.
What are the best neighborhoods? Is the one by overlooking the Lake of Fire recommended, or should I be up on the mountain somewhere?
Yeah. Believe it or not, hell does have vistas.
The other thing
air conditioning too.
The other thing I want to put out there is that one of the things that Smokey said is that you guys keep doing what you're doing, and the judgment is going to come down on you harder. And I was asking, okay, what does that mean? That means does that mean they're going to turn up the temperature of the lake of fire, or are they going to turn it down
No,
to simmer?
no, it's that imminent. It's that kind of like that foreboding, imminent foreshadowing kind of shit that he pulls. Yeah,
I think all it really means is that when you get judged at the pearly gates, they're going to hit the desk harder.
Yeah,
but what is he being judged for? Why would he be worried about false judgment against? Why would he be worried about judgment against him if he hasn't done anything to be judged for?
No, he was talking about us. He was threatening us with further judgment, and I'm like, okay, what can be worse than the fucking lake of fire for eternity? What are they going to do? They're going to
they teabag you with it. They use you like they wrap you in a net and they just kind of dip you in a little bit at a time over an eternity. Right. Wait till the skin regenerates and then do it again.
Yeah.
Haven't you seen Little Nicky? A pineapple off the butt.
I think you.
I haven't seen Little Nicky in a long time. That's an Adam Sandler flick.
Yeah, it's what happens to Hitler. He walks around in a maid outfit, and every hour he gets a pineapple.
Leo did a little video on the problem of evil that I haven't had a chance to review yet, but I did put it in the description of this video. So
the logical problem of evil or the moral problem of evil?
Well, he was on Rebecca's channel and he was asking then some questions in the sin and evil and stuff like that.
Well, that was just the other night. I was there too. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, Leo did a video on it.
So. She's really nice.
The biggest issue with evil is actually defining it.
Yeah. I was in Bible study with Rebecca last night, and Dave, he was also on that stream. So.
I'm still having a theological argument with Jesus is Lord over his divine quarantine argument.
Hello, brother.
Hello, brother. Good to see you.
Ah, Simon! No, run!
Hey, Jay.
Hey, Simon.
Okay. Well,
hello, Speed.
Hello. What is the divine quarantine?
Okay, you know how you got two narratives in the Bible. I'll do this very briefly. You got two narratives in the Bible. You've got Numbers 25 and Numbers 31. You're dealing with the plague of Peor. The Midianites the Israelites start canoodling with some of the Midianite women and start worshiping Baal, and that brings about God's wrath. And there's a plague, and then the plague is stopped, and then they get vengeance on Midian because Midian harassed the Israelites with their womanly wiles. And so they kill off all the Midianites. They keep the virgins. They keep the young Midianite females that haven't been with men, and they keep all this cattle and all this stuff. And then you have the Amalekites, which is a narrative that you can combine from 1 Samuel 15, but then you can go back to, you can see the history of what is being referred to in 1 Samuel 15 by looking at Numbers 14, where Saul is commanded by God to go and kill all the Amalekites, every single one of them, including the animals. Jill's argument is that the reason that they killed all the Amalekites or all the animals when it came to the Amalekites is because of the plague, because their attitudes were doing stuff that would bring about plague. But the thing is when you go back to the narrative where there is an actual plague, they didn't kill the animals, they kept the animals.
Okay.
So let me get this straight. They killed the Amalekites because the Amalekites were spreading disease or carrying it?
He says, yes, he's saying that both of the narratives are related in the sense that these kind of unnatural behaviors, bestiality, homosexuality, pedophilia, blah, 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 these unnatural acts get punished by God giving natural acts, such as like a plague.
Okay.
So when they're killing...
So what does that say about all these anti-vaxxers and anti-maskers who keep catching COVID-19? Should they be killed off like the Amalekites?
No, not when it comes to a contagion like that. He does propose that if America had been smart, they would have found the homosexuals that first contracted HIV and killed them. That would have been a divine quarantine.
Oh, that's an interesting twist.
I really need to know there.
What's that?
Is he one of those Christians that thinks it came from people having sex with monkeys?
I have no idea. It depends on his day.
Okay. That's so weird anyway.
Yeah, so he keeps asking me this question, why did they kill the animals? And it's clearly stated when it comes to the Amalekites, they killed everybody off because of what the Amalekites did when Egypt was when the Israelites were coming up from Egypt. And what happened with that was God was ticked off at the Israelites because the Israelites were griping about some of the inhabitants they were seeing in the promised land, right? So God was like, well, if you're not, I don't understand. You guys are bitching and griping. You don't think I'm going to deliver your enemies, these enemies unto you in order for you to have this land. So he ends up not being real happy with his people. And then for some weird reason, some Israelites decide to go up this hill and meet up with the Amalekites, and the Amalekites kick their asses and defeat them. And they're even warned not to go that way because Moses won't be there with the Ark of the Covenant. God will not be standing with them. So because they got defeated back in Numbers 14, now here we are in 1 Samuel 15 when Saul is king, and God's saying, go kill them all for what they did to you. So the retaliation is because of something that the Israelites first did when God wasn't with them. They were the invaders in that land, and the Amalekites kicked their asses back. They needed to have God with them in order to defeat the Amalekites.
Well, God didn't do too well with the people of the plains.
I hope I explained that briefly enough, but the conversation gets a little bit more interesting after that. And Jill keeps telling me that I'm deleting my comments and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no. Oh, by the way, YouTube seems to have a new nanny in place, by the way.
It does?
Yeah. If you write certain things to someone in a response, such as if I call Jill goofball or dummy.
I saw that.
Yeah. That's why when I look at I did a video because Jill was accusing me of erasing my comments. And when I'm logged into this account, I can see all the comments. When I go to my secondary account, the Smoking Dumpster, and I look at the same comment thread, I can only see like 10.
Yeah, last night I noticed a ton of comments that were just very slightly problematic. I mean, really slightly. They were being put in moderation or something. They said YouTube is reviewing.
Mine were being deleted because even though I wasn't blatantly being insulting to Jill, I was using biblical language such as whoring and killing and people being run through with spears. And so I think whatever algorithm they had in place just picked those comments. It doesn't allow him to see those comments or anyone else to see those comments, but I can still see those comments.
Wow, so it's an anti-biblical algorithm. Wow.
Well, no,
it seems to go against anything that might be considered threatening language. They're trying to do something about. I think they're trying to do something about toxic.
So it's anti-biblical then. Okay.
Yeah. So you have to be careful using some Bible verses if you're going to be in a comment thread and you're going to be like quoting something from Ezekiel that's very like the old doom and that God will strike down upon you and all this kind of stuff. It's a good chance that quote may not go through because of the language.
I'm gonna test it right now. Let's see if they do something with that. I wonder if it ended up there. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, if you're a moderator, if you own the channel, then you can say whatever you want.
Ah, good point.
Really?
Or you're the owner. I don't know if it works for mods yet. If you're the owner of the channel, then you can write whatever you want. But if you are responding, so when I respond to Jill and it's that algorithm picks up, I think if it picks up anything that might be considered threatening, it deletes it doesn't really delete the comment, it hides the comment.
Yeah, or else it says that it's in for moderation. And then actually some of those things, they were just people, fucking with each other. And it put it in moderation, but then it showed the comment a little bit later. I noticed that last night. Thought that was weird. I wish YouTube would just knock that shit out. Their AI is not going to pick up the right stuff,
Yeah, especially Oh, sorry, Randall.
That didn't show up for me when I just browsed from a different IP address through anonymous browsing. That's interesting.
What's that? My Christian suck thing?
Yep.
Yeah, I can't see it either.
Do you have it on top chat or live chat?
Live chat.
Oh no, I'm talking the comment section, not the live chat.
Yeah, the
comment. Okay, interesting.
I'm talking the comment section.
Oh, we're looking at the live chat right now.
Yeah, okay. I can't see the comment I made about all Christians really suck.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's not in the side chat, but it's over here in the the side chat that you see in StreamYard.
Right. Good point.
If the channel is set for not for children, and if the account has been age confirmed, it can actually post.
Yeah, but I have the channel set not for children, I think.
But is this video set yet? No, live streams aren't set.
I set all of mine as not for children except for the backroom stuff.
Oh, I don't have a restriction on it. Interesting. I wonder if let's see, not for children. Okay, I don't have that option. Where the hell is that?
In YouTube Studio, you have to tell it more options to see it.
Oh, I have no, it's not made for kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what I have set for default. The only exception I make in videos I have about
everybody remember couple of years ago, everybody had to make that change. They had to specifically agree to that because if you were making stuff that was for children, it fell under a different law, under a different regulation. They came out with that like a couple of years ago.
Actually, I like that things can be designated that way. It's good.
Yeah, YouTube really restricts the algorithm though if you don't have available for kids.
Really?
But but see, here's the thing. Jill probably doesn't have it set. He probably has it set not for children. I don't have mine set for children. But when I took one of the comments that was erased that's not visible on Jill's, and I copied it, and then I logged in as my secondary account, and I posted it on one of my videos comment section, and it did not show up. But when I posted it myself, it showed up, as long as it was on my channel. So like if I called myself a fuckwit piece of shit, and that did not show up when I posted that as Smoking Dumpster to myself. But when I posted it to myself as Jay Pasick, it showed up.
Okay, this one showed up. Christians eat weenie.
That's because Danny's in the chat though.
Now here's something interesting. When I go to that,
only a joke, Danny. Only a joke.
When I go to the different IP to view anonymously, and now it asks me to confirm my age by signing in. You must have changed the setting.
Yeah, I did. I changed it to restrict video to viewers over 18.
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be right back there.
I just flag mine as not for children, but I don't put the age restriction on. And the reason I do that is because the debate contents and things like that are more interesting for adults. And that's it. Yeah. I notice there's a lot of children interested in the backrooms, which if you search on YouTube for the backrooms, you'll see all these yellow places that are, it's kind of thing that a lot of the kids are into. So I have one video I made of the backrooms, and that one I didn't flag not for children because
What is the backrooms? What is that?
Well, the idea is that, when you're in a video game sometimes and the computer's underpowered and you can no clip out of the game and into seeing it from the backside, and it looks really strange because they're not intending for players to go there. So the idea, this is what's called a creepypasta. The idea is a guy named Dane Pixels, or Dane Parsons, sorry, he goes by Dane Pixels, created this idea where you no clip out of reality. You fall through the ground or something, and you end up in this place that everything's all yellow walls and rotten carpet or moldy carpets and stuff, and you're running around trying to figure out how to get out of this place. And if you don't get out in time, some scary monsters are going to come and get you. And it's hilarious, this idea, and it's taken off. It's become kind of a viral phenomenon.
Wow. That sounds like when I used to come off my cocaine vodka binges. I would wake up and I'd like wake up in this reality that I didn't understand.
And sorry, I just said the name wrong. The name is Kane Pixels, Kane. If you search for that guy's channel, you'll see he's got a few videos up. The guy's an amazing videographer. It turns out he's doing some really fascinatingly great videos. He's got quite the cinematic style for it. I think he's got a future in this stuff.
Okay. 16-year-old director. Oh wow, those videos like cool.
Look at his backrooms stuff. It's really amazing how well he's done with all that.
Yeah, I missed something. Sorry.
And Leophilius is right. It did start in a subreddit. In liminal spaces and whatnot. It's really interesting. It kind of shows an empty space, like kind of reminiscent of where there used to be people, and it's all destitute and lonely now. But it adds to the scariness of it. It's really quite an interesting thing that they've done there.
It sounds like an SCP.
Yeah, that thing is kind of garbage. the way, from what I've seen on that one, I'm not really impressed with SCP all that much, but backroom stuff looked a lot better to me.
I'm more talking about the actual creepypasta SCPs, not what people have tried to do with it.
Yeah, I know there's a channel, they've got lots and lots of them where they're interviewing characters and stuff. It's just really hokey. It's just I wasn't impressed with it at all. And then in the Unix world, like the reason I came across SCP is because I was looking up for something for a secure copy protocol, which is what SCP stands for in the Linux world. But they've gone and used that acronym, and I'm sure it's getting them lots of extra views.
I'm looking at one called Backrooms Autopsy Report.
Yeah. Are you in Kane Pixels channel? That's the best place to start.
Yes. Yeah. Pretty cool.
Look at his oldest one first. It kind of follows through. It's really interesting. Hello, Brainbug.
We have a brain bug in the house.
Hey. How's it going?
This video I'm not so fond of.
Bug in it.
This one you're looking at now doesn't show the video graphic kind of style that I was talking about. The one where the rooms are all yellow, those ones really show it well. And he kind of takes his time showing the environment a bit and then moves on to you're actually venturing around and they're getting chased by monsters at some point. And the first video he did, the monster chasing here, looks like something running around on crutches. It's the weirdest looking beast. And then it sounds like an angry elephant chasing after you. It's really loud. It's pretty neat.
Sounds like somebody had a really bad experience in like an old person's home.
Wow.
Yeah, this video I found not as interesting as the other Backrooms one he's done.
Okay. I'll see if I can find another one.
Yeah, this one's not a good representation of it, but it's also well done video. But yeah, I think the kid has some real talent there. Yeah, this video, take a look at this one, found footage.
Who's the kid?
Kane Parsons. He goes by the name Kane Pixels, as you can see on the screen here.
This is his.
This is how it starts. And if you watch through, when you clip into the backrooms, it's all kind of yellow. It's just, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's kind of, yeah, there you're seeing pictures. It's got these guys in their suits looking around. And he's only made like 3 or 4 videos so far, and they're all getting like millions of views. So
that's on his channel. I can't find it, the video itself.
You're just looking at it right there.
Yeah, but that's his. Yeah, but that's his. What do you call it?
Yeah, that's the one. Just play this one. This is it.
Like his intro.
Yeah. You can turn the volume if you like. It's good. It's funny. So these guys are just making a crazy movie here. It's not related to the Backrooms, but then this is where he's going to clip through the ground and where am I? What's going on?
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Now you're in the Backrooms. It's entertainment, but it's funny. And he's got this, makes it look like you're looking at video footage from a VHS tape.
Yeah.
So Blair Witch sort of vibe going to it.
Yeah, it does have that. Yeah.
Paranormal activity.
But the
It's
way
actually
he's
all CGI in the video now.
Wow.
Yeah, the way he's
all
showing
done in
the
CGI.
picture here, it's interesting. He's not rushing through this stuff at this point, just kind of going slow and getting used to it. And the monster makes a hell of a noise, though. It's just, this is well done. I don't expect you to watch all 9 minutes here on the air, but this is.
Yeah, you got the sound off, so we can just let it roll. I'll put that in the description just to keep an eye on that guy's channel.
Yeah, cool. And this is one of the things is if you're quiet, then the monsters won't find you, hopefully. And so I saw somebody else had made a parody of this stuff, and they're kind of joking around their video game stuff. So I took a piece of their footage, and I did almost 10 minutes of repeating, and I called it "Making Lots of Noise in the Backrooms."
Wow.
Yeah. I'm planning to make a few more of these kind of videos. Cool. See where they go. I've actually got on my YouTube channel, there's a playlist called The Backrooms. Kane Pixels stuff is in there along with a whole bunch of others. There's lots of variety. And they're about, like if you're watching this at nighttime and you get right into it, you'll get freaked out. They got the surprise shot comes up like a good horror movie would.
Neat.
And I'm not a big fan of the horror genre, but this one I thought was well done.
Oh, I love horror. Found footage is so much fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there.
I just hate those. I mean, after the first one, the Blair Witch was one that I went and saw at the theater about 4 times, because that one really.
Now, when you went to see it, Speed, did you the first time you went to see it? Did you think it was real? Was the advertising working on you, or I was too young? But...
No.
Okay.
When Bush Jr. was the president, I joked with a couple of my friends, we should make a parody called the Blair Bush Project when he was dealing stuff with Tony Blair.
That's good. That's good.
We never did it though.
I actually did a horror film when I was young. I was probably about 18 or something. Yeah, I did the music for it.
Aside from people making really bad decisions, what was the main plot?
Oh, the main plot. Oh God. It was a really bad film. It was done at a local school, and it was very controversial because we used the kids in the school. Well, it wasn't me because I just did the music, but they used the kids in the school. But the plot was it was a children's home, and this guy who was a rock star came back to the children's home and released demonic music on them, and they all turned into demonic possessed children that went around stabbing each other until everybody was dead.
What was the name of that?
It was called Suffer Little Children.
Oh my
God. That sounds like it would be a fun project for all the kids to be in, because they all know there isn't a film, right? So
yeah, exactly. I mean,
is
they
it
did it in
available to you, Simus? Can we see it?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I found a few clips of it once. I found a few clips of it once, but it is really bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
student films are, but they're still fun to make and fun to watch.
Yeah, that's true.
I love a good cheesy horror movie too. I mean,
it's that and a half. Yeah.
We used to do like this. We do a night where we get together all and watch cheesy horror movies and get tattoos together with me and my friends.
Yeah, when my kids were teenagers, probably 16, 17, when that happened, and they were doing a film project, and they did it like a Blair Witch thing. And there was this girl named Crystal whose mom sent her to live with us inexplicably. And she did this whole Blair Witch thing with the flashlight on her, and she was just so great. It was just wonderful. They did a little film project on Blair Witch, found footage thing. But that one really freaked me out.
I found a trailer for it.
And in the Blair Witch, there was no actual creatures or anything.
They did have a person in a costume, but it looked so shitty they just didn't use it.
Yeah. What really freaked me out about Blair Witch was the rocks that you heard out in the woods.
And the rocks banging together. Yeah.
Yeah, that was just for some reason, like all of the creepiness of my life happened in the North Woods up by Ely, with those big hills and valleys, and you walk out there and you can walk for miles without ever, finding any civilization. And it just scares the shit out of me. Spooks out in the woods.
That sounds fantastic, though.
Yeah, it does. But, for you, because you're into that creepy stuff.
I am. I would be the creepy thing in the woods then.
You would be the creepy thing.
Don't you think that's where we got all of our monster stories anyway, was people gathered around a fire at night trying to scare the living bejesus out of each other?
Yeah.
Well, you take something like what Speed just said there. I went to this woods and I got this uncomfortable feeling. We bolted. We wanted to get out of there. We thought it was demons, like what he was talking about earlier. And you take that and you tell that over the campfire a few times. It grows and elaborates. And we get. Oh yeah, we saw it. We heard it. It just grows. That's
now, Brainbot, I'm sure that with these expansive wooded areas, you're also probably thinking, "Oh, a good habitat to raise massive amounts of bugs," right?
Yeah. all kinds of animals too, not just bugs.
Yeah. There we go.
I'll be happy
but
with
be
that.
Careful with the cats, right? You told me they're disastrous.
Yeah.
So when I was about 20, I owned this 40-acre farm, and my friend he was building a tent. Well, he had these projects, like he lived in an igloo out there when it was 40 below, and then he was living in a tent or a teepee that he built. And my little brother was about 13. and he took a recording of a vacuum cleaner, and he crept through the woods and snuck up on us, and he had it like amplified on this boombox really loud. So we heard this like weird mechanical kind of ghostly noise coming out of the woods. And it struck us as Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It was like fucking aliens, right? And he scared the living shit out of us. And I don't know why it was such a scary sound, but it was like
I think
you don't expect.
The fear of the unknown.
I think you've just figured out how to make the next best sound for the next monster for the back rooms.
Yeah, good. So anyway, when we realized it was him, I punched him.
I've put I put a link to the trailer in the private chat, Brainbug.
So when you
might be able to find it on something.
When you punched him, did you tell him that sucks?
I remember screaming at him a lot. I was really, it really scared me.
That was a pun. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Vacuums do not suck.
Yeah, vacuums do not. But anyway, it did that kind of fear where you would say that my blood froze in my veins. That's the kind of fear it was, because we didn't know what.
Especially it sounds so real, right? But I gotta disagree on the not vacuums not sucking. You haven't heard the Electrolux marketing campaign. Nothing sucks like Electrolux, have you?
God damn! I was going to be an Electrolux salesman. One time I trained to be an Electrolux salesman, and you wouldn't believe the sales tactics that they use. It was horrible. Anyway, I didn't last. I never actually went out on a sales call. I had to quit because it was morally reprehensible. I couldn't stand the idea of trying to sell one of those pieces of shit.
Is there anybody on this panel that would actually go walking in the woods at night with me?
I would.
Yeah.
There's no problem. There's no actual things out there like ticks and.
Yeah, camping at the lake and then going through the woods, at night.
I'll be bringing a flashlight and bear spray, but sure.
Well, yeah, flashlight. But
I'll bring my Glock.
I used to love walking down a trail at night or something like that, and then you see those huge spider webs, between the trees or whatever, shining in your light. It's just really cool.
Yeah, when I was a little kid, I used to crawl around in the woods and pretend I was an animal. At about 2:00 in the morning, I'd sneak out of the house and I'd crawl through the woods, and I just thought it was wonderful. It was just a really neat experience. But
this explains a lot.
It does.
Yeah,
I used to do that too, or go climbing up through the trees and stuff, and be an animal up in the tree in the forest alone by myself.
Yeah,
I've been there, Speed. I know that feeling.
Yep.
Also, when I was a kid, I would catch crayfish and I'd cook them on a little rock by my little campsite, and I would. We even found some bird eggs and cooked them one time and ate them. It was. We were really into it. Me and my brother were.
We went and collected about 50 clams out of the lake, freshwater clams, and tried and cooked them. And they should make tires out of those things because you cannot chew them. But another freaky thing that happened is we were all camping. We were out in the middle of the woods. It wasn't a campground. And one of my friends went out to take a piss, and he came back just freaked out, almost screaming. He said he saw a ghost or a banshee out in the woods. And so we followed, where he had gone. All of us went together, and it was a glowing moss stump. It was one of those fluorescent moss things.
I like foxfire.
Yeah, and it scared the shit out of this guy. I mean, it just really fucked him up. He still didn't believe it. I told him, oh yeah, that's just, fluorescent moss,
Well, there's a few different things that could glow out there, though. I mean, there's glowworms and there's funguses, lightning bugs.
Yeah,
but I've never been able to see one of the glowing funguses myself.
That was the same camping trip where we tried to eat those fucking clams.
Yeah,
it didn't go well. They tasted good, but you couldn't chew them.
So but you did see some bioluminescent fungus, though, right?
Yeah.
Where was that?
Northern Minnesota.
Northern Minnesota.
Up by 60 miles north of Duluth.
Well, when the trees when they break down and stuff, you'll see you're supposed to be able to see like flashes of it too, like flash in the night.
Yeah.
But I've never been lucky enough to capture it. I would love to.
Yeah. The other weird thing is if you're in a cornfield right after a really warm summer rain, the corn squeaks when it grows. So you can hear squeak, squeak, squeak all over the place, all around you. That's
I grew up in Missouri. I know about squeaky corn.
Yeah. Squeaky corn. My uncle told me that when I was a little kid and we didn't believe him. And then I experienced it when I was like 30.
Yeah.
I was on one of my midnight walks.
I've woken up in many of a cornfield in my youth. So
yep.
That's what you used to do in these little towns in the Midwest here. We didn't, there wasn't really too much to do. So we'd all go pull our vehicles back into a cornfield and sit around on the tailgates and drink.
Yep.
I mean, I guess that's kind of standard for most people to hang out and drink, but we just specifically did it in a cornfield because that's everywhere around where I grew up.
We lost Mr. J.
I want to hear if Simon's had a similar experience in the UK.
Sorry, as well. I was away just trying to find the soundtrack.
We're talking about when we grew up, or at least I was saying specifically me. When I grew up, I spent a lot of time tailgating in cornfields with my friends. Did you all do that in the UK?
What do you mean by tailgating?
It's where you sit. Everybody backs their trucks up in a circle, and you all sit around on your tailgates of your trucks. And
not exactly. I grew up in Canada for a start, so yeah. We used to do a lot of camping and tailgating, as you say, around Canada and the US. Went for a holiday for, I don't know, 6-7 months, something like that.
Up in iron mining country, it was pit parties. We'd go out in the middle of these old pits that were like 50 years old, overgrown with trees. And the cops didn't have the patience to find us because there were so many roads, and we'd have 3-day keggers out there. We call them pit parties.
Nice.
Yeah,
we used to go on down to the West Country for the scrumpy and get fresh flat scrumpy from the farmers. That's what we would do when we was like old enough.
Yeah.
In this country, when I moved back to the UK, we'd all.
How old were you when you moved back to the UK?
Oh, about probably about 11.
11. Oh, so you were a teenager in the UK, though, right?
Oh yeah. I grew up. The rest of my life I spent in the UK. But when we got 18, 17 actually, I got my first motorcycle, and that was it. Every year I used to go down to Exeter and just go scrumping basically. Just go around the different farms, ask the farmer if I could stay in his field, and then drink his scrumpy.
Do you ever ride your motorcycle up the coast?
Not anymore because I'm a lot older now. Yeah. But no, I mean, no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, we used to just go. Well, I mean, I used to go to festivals and do a festival tour. And that was about it, really.
Yeah. Well, that's tailgating too, and we go to concert festivals and stuff like that, and you sit on the back of your vehicle. Or I had a big van back then, like a big cargo van, so
cool.
You could fit a lot of people in there.
What he always did.
Yeah. I just had a motorbike, so it was go to the first festival, find a girl, put her on the back of the bike, go to as many festivals as I possibly could after that. Every time, Glastonbury was always the first, and we'd go to Glastonbury and then come back to Stonehenge and then back to Wales or over towards Wales, and just do there's many festivals around that place, so you get these mini festivals of 1,000 people, something like that.
They used to have this big festival under Bagnell Dam down at Lake of the Ozarks that we would go to called Schwag Fest. It was like a Schwag is like a Grateful Dead tribute band, but so I mean they're all right, but it was mostly
nice.
The music that was played there was ska and reggae kind of stuff. So lots of Rasta people there, and it was always so cloudy. But it was a campground who hosted it, and it was right underneath the dam, and there was woods all around. It was kind of nice.
Nice. When I played Glastonbury, I was in a punk ska band, a punk reggae band, I should say,
Yeah.
or ska reggae band, if you like.
I play bass and guitar.
Oh, I play guitar. Yeah.
I play anything with strings, really, but yeah.
Yeah, I play bass as well and drums and.
Yeah. Oh, you play drums too. Cool.
I sing. Well, I mean, later on, I'm old, so
I don't play anything anymore. Really, I fiddle around when the mood strikes me. But I used to play in some bands. I was in a country folk band for a while.
Nice.
Playing mandolin.
Yeah. Okay. That's okay. Although it's quite a big scene in America, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of culture to it. A lot of. Yeah. Well, we played a lot of folk music that probably has roots elsewhere too, but we were pretty versatile.
Yeah.
They have like folk life festivals and stuff here. Basically like our version of like a Renaissance fair for early settler days in the U.S.
Gotcha.
Time to shoot her in the head, guys.
No problem.
Okay. Right. So we are going to end for the day.
Thank you very much. Good to be in a speed of sound hangout once again.
Yep. Thanks for stopping. I'm not feeling really great yet.
I'm sorry to hear that, dude.
You are back home though, right?
Yeah, I am home. Yeah. I'm just saying, it feels like I have the flu, and I don't know what the hell's going on exactly. I just need to get some more rest, I guess. But it feels
every
kind of good.
Hospital has a germ; it just passes on to people.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yep, you get them. Anyway, goodbye, cruel world. We're going to end it for the day.
Thanks.
Bye, y'all.
Take care.
Answers atheism.